Yo, what is good? Welcome to episode 6 of the Patreon series. Today I'm going to show you how to write interesting chord progressions. A lot of these are actually really new tips I recently learned, so I'm really excited to show you guys. Let's jump right into it. Okay, so I've found that a big key to writing good chord progressions is actually keeping it pretty simple, going with simple voicings, really letting those simple voicings shine as much as you can. And I'll show you tips and tricks on how to make those simple chords really sound better than they actually are. Like a lot of my production, I like to start simple and add stuff later. So I just have a grand piano loaded up here. And we're going to start with the bass notes, but we're first going to draw in a guide note. And this is just going to be a single note playing on the root key of our scale that we're writing in. This is going to be a constant note playing throughout our chord progression. And I found that adding these constant notes to your chord progressions can really make a huge difference and make them sound really good. Let's write in the scale of D minor. I also like to use the scale thing in Ableton to help me write. I know basic music theory, but I still like to use this just because it makes things easier, so why not? If you can make your workflow faster, you always should. So let's first just draw in a D, and we're going to keep it really simple right now. We're just going to do a chord on each bar. Okay, cool. So let's write some bass notes underneath these guide notes, and we're going to do something nice and simple. Like I said, keeping it simple is really the key here. We could just go down in the scale and then maybe bring it back up. Let's see what that sounds like. Maybe try this. I like that. That's nice. So once you have a set of bass notes for your chords, we're just going to do really simple voicing. So we're just going to skip a note in the scale, place a note, skip a note in the scale, and place a note. And we're going to do this for each chord. Now it sounds like this. It sounds okay, but it sounds kind of clunky. It sounds kind of uninteresting. So what we can do is we can either continue the pattern, so we can keep skipping a note and adding more. So let's try that real quick and see what that sounds like. That sounds pretty good, but right now I don't think it's what I really want to go for. Get rid of all those. One of my favorite things to do is always take this middle note on each of these chords and shift them up one octave. So now our chords sound like this. Much better, already sounding a little bit less clunky, a little bit more emotional. So now another thing we can do is add another note that's constantly playing throughout the chord. In this case, I think this A is going to work really well. So let's duplicate this A and put it across the entire chord progression. And now let's listen. Nice, that sounds really good. Another thing I would do is take all these bass notes and duplicate them an octave down. That's sounding pretty good. I like that. We can keep trying different inversions, so taking random notes and shifting them up and down an octave. I think I liked it how it was before. So once you have some good voicing, we can now mess with the rhythm. We can either have chords that are kind of fucky and playing something like this. Or in this case, since these kind of have more of a chill vibe, we could just play with the placement and the length of the chords. So sometimes it's nice to have this second chord come in one beat early and then hold out until the end of the second bar. And then doing the same thing with this one over here. It adds a little bit of tension, adds a little bit of a more interesting syncopated rhythm to your chords. Much better. That actually made the chord progression 10 times better in my opinion. That's awesome. So that now that we have some good chords playing in a good rhythm, this is probably one of the most important things now, is finding the right sound. In this case, we don't really have a song, so we don't have anything else to compare to. So all we have to base this off of is the vibe of the chords. So let's load up Serum and try to find a nice preset for this. This one's pretty nice. This one is called Euphoric. Oh, that's nice. I really like that. So we could go with this Brave preset. Well, there you have it. Those are some tips on how to write interesting chord progressions. I hope that was helpful, and as usual, I hope you guys learned something. Peace.